Okay, folks, here we are. Told you I'd take you to Pinal Air Park, and well, here it is. It's now called Marana Aerospace Solutions, and this is where I used to work. I'm going to take you first. You can see the field way out there, the hangars and such, and some of the planes. But first I'll take you around the hotel area. This place has its own hotel, restaurant, big swimming pool. It's got office spaces. It's got all kinds of stuff. So we go down this road, and where we're heading is actually for the restaurant, which used to be called Eleanor's, for a lady by the name of Eleanor Barnett that used to run it. She ran it for years for Evergreen. And her family is pretty well known out here. They're used to be a big farming family. They even have a road into the town of Marana named Barnett. And I think Eleanor still lives on Barnett Road after her and her husband's last names. But, anyway, keep on cruising down here. Areas on the right are all posted, road closed and stuff. They don't want anybody driving out there. But I'll take you around here first, completely around, and then we'll come back out, and then right up and down the main road, which parallels the runway, and I'll see what we can see for you. Okay, now up ahead, I don't know if you can see it or not, my, I don't see any cars here, but the thing is that maybe the restaurant's not open anymore. We used to have a barber shop here. There's a bar here. Was a bar here. Buildings off to your left were itty bitty little hotel rooms, and some of them were barracks. And right here was the restaurant and bar. And since there are absolutely no cars here, today is Monday. Now they call it Downtime Lounge. I don't know what they call the restaurant itself. But anyway, maybe they're not open anymore. That's weird. Anyway, I'll drive around this way. There's a car out there. And there was a Connex there too, so that might be the some of the feds, different groups of people. I don't know who's all out here now, if anybody. Let's see, up ahead, off to the right, these are all still just, most of these are like barracks, the buildings. And some of them are used to be used for storage, for aircraft paperwork and stuff. There's a lot of paperwork to go with aircraft. This used to be Department of Diplomatic Security. Doesn't look like they're here anymore. And Bureau of Indian Affairs was out here too, BIA for training and such. Where this vacancy of a building is. When I was here, that place had a gas leak and blew up. This building here was FLETC, was NARTC, National Advanced Resource Technology Center. It looks like they still might be here. This next building was once my office, then it turned into our Human Resource Department. There's the park that we had built. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. Here's the four-way stop. Looks like they took down the street signs, but the street we're coming to was Captain Michael King Smith Boulevard, named after the owner at the time, Delford Smith, his son who was killed in an auto wreck coming out of Washington, D.C. And that building, the little one way back there, that was my office. And years and years and years and years and years ago, that used to be a chapel out here. That airplane looks like it's set up for training. This is on the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center side. And what we used to do with this whole area, I'll show you part of it. Excuse me. Here's my old office again. Those buildings are 5-bedroom houses each. There's 2 of them that are connected up together. Inside the one we had Toby Keith was out here doing a concert when he was new. This was back in the mid-90s, mid to later 90s. And in this particular house right there, that's where Michelle Wright and her sister Shelley Wright were staying. They were also part of the concert here. All those buildings are pretty much storage. Okay, this is going to be kind of lousy photography since we're in my car with the windows up. But out in this area, I don't know if you can see towers and things like this out there. There's a 1.2 mile evasive, defensive, and pursuit driver training track out there beyond the trees. And let me just see what they got for signs up here now. You know, they don't want us here, so I won't go there. Authorized vehicles only. Well, I'll go. But it looks like the feds are training here again, or somebody's using the range. You can see, you'll see more of it as we get by. There's 3 ranges, 3 firing ranges. I think each one's like 25 or 30 position. One's turn target, one's standard targets, and another one's designed for different kinds of scenario training. And right back in there was the swimming pool. It still is there. You can see the white signs maybe. Right here was a hair salon and a laundry, things like that. And that laundry is for this motel area here. And these were like little tiny motel rooms here. I don't know what you can see. But little itty bitty motel rooms. They were nice though. Some of these were kind of dinky. Security goes around. That was just one that just passed me on the right. There's a weight room right there. At least it used to be. But security, when I was here, they were armed. The cars had reds and blues, sirens, and all that stuff. This is where Will France used to live, right there. He passed away, unfortunately. Good guy, real good guy. And most of these buildings right here were just used for storage. And again, that house that you're looking at right there, that's where Michelle Wright was staying for the day or 2 or 3 or whatever it was that she was doing the concert thing with. Michelle Wright and Shelley. And that's my old office. The office area of that place right there was, we had offices on this end, And on the other end, the chapel part itself, where the people would be, was just, we had mats there so we could do martial arts and evasive, defensive training of different types. Okay, here's some of the airplanes we're looking at. They fenced all this off now, which is cool. They don't need to have a main gate and keep everybody out. But I'll just let you look. We'll make a U-turn up here where the National Guard is. All kinds of airplanes. You can see some Evergreen tails way back there. I see 1, 2, 3. There's 747s. They probably don't belong to Evergreen anymore. I think various companies now own them. And here's where they used to strip the planes down, take them apart and stuff. It looks like that's what they're still doing in this area. And here's National Guard. We're not going to go in through their gate. Most of this stuff isn't really new, but it's been improved since I was here. We didn't really have anything to do with the National Guard, but with all the ruled events as late. That's a neat plane. It says Eva Air Cargo, with the green tail and the white circle on it. And Aero Surf. I don't know what all this stuff is, guys. But like I said, I told you I'd give you a view of this place. Anybody can really drive out here now. There's a lady jogging. The big yellow hangar coming up, you'll see, his name used to be named Dual Hangar, after a guy by the name of George A. Doole, D-O-O-L-E. And he was here before it was Evergreen, when it was still, I think, Intermountain. Back in those days. There's the aircraft tower, which we never really used as a tower. The old security chief before me, he used it as a security office, and he was once a traffic control guy for aircraft, so he used it. He still liked to do that. So he used it as a let me get over here, somebody's behind me. Let him get around. Not even a fence here. Gosh darn, if I was still in charge of security, I'd want something up there. You just drive right over this. Get a little security gate right there, which is cool. A new one. So they only secure that which is exactly Evergreen. Anyway, here's a hangar we're coming up on that you can see the rounded top, and there's a flag there. That is probably still the FBO, Flight Base Operations, and it used to contain both those hangars over there. It used to contain Evergreen's Warbirds. They're all up in McMinnville, Oregon now. It's Evergreen that also owns the Spruce Goose. It's in that museum. Both of those. And let's see. I don't know what they're doing over here. Looks like they got some kind of a operation with a bunch of railroad ties. Hell, who knows? Maybe somebody's selling them out of here now. Don't know. Like I say, it's a whole different company now. It isn't Evergreen. Mr. Smith, Delford Smith, passed away, and they just went belly up and closed down. Like I say, the people who run this place now probably hired most of those former Evergreen employees, so I'm sure all the people didn't lose their jobs, at least for long. And now we're heading back out towards the main gate. So we'll head out towards the main gate and go look at some LDS farms. A farm, it's big. Latter-day Saints owns it. I'm surprised that the restaurant isn't open anymore. That's kind of sad. It was no big deal, but it was a nice, close place to eat. You're not going to run off base for lunch anymore. And again, here is our old security gate, and this is where we control traffic from this point on. Right from here. Not anymore. Oh well, that's life. That was about 16 years ago I left. I worked there 9/11/90 to 9/11/2000. And my last job with the mines, I was there for exactly 10 years too. I either worked for places for 5 years or 10 years during my working life, and that was it. But I usually held 2 jobs at a time. This growing over here on the left and the right is cotton. Hello, cotton. Hello, cotton. Okay. And there's a car sitting over there. Kicking back, taking it easy. From that estate. And I think they got some maize growing up here. Yes, they do. Coming right up. That on my left is maize. And the big brown truck coming into view, we call them UPS. Cotton over here. I'm going to come by and pick up after they defoliate the leaves, which is just salt water. That's all they spray from the airplanes. But anyway, there'll be a bunch of cotton balls after the cotton picker machine comes by. And I'll pick up some cotton balls, because inside each one, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 seeds. I mean, I could go out there and pick them right now. They're just right there, but I'm not going to mess with it. Let them pick it first. And there's always stuff blowing around, laying on the ground. I'll pick that up, because I want to plant it. Like I plant everything else in my yard. And there's some more maize. Maize is kind of like corn. They usually use it for feed for animals. Let's see what else. Them's weeds. One of these days there's cotton over here. One of these days I'll show you some wild stuff that grows here. It's not out right now. It's growing in places. It's called pigweed, is what we call it anyway. I don't know what other names might be with it, but pigweed sure is good eating. You know, the street we're coming up to is called Hardin, Hardin, and if we went down the road down that way about another half a mile, we'd be where we were the other day, where the Santa Cruz River was. And this is that dairy that we were talking about, which was on the other side of the berm. And they raise hay. You can see it stacked up, windrowed up. And you can see the cattle houses in the background there, which is kind of cool. That big old pile of dirt way out there, that's actually a relatively new sand and gravel company. When I worked out here, it wasn't here. House behind all them trees. I like the way country houses usually have huge trees all the way around them. Can't see jack diddly. More cotton here. I hear the dogs barking. Cotton's kind of neat. I'm just kind of curious why I want to plant it and grow it myself. One, I want to see how big it'll get, because like I say, everything else that's harvested in this world seems to be harvested when it's relatively small. And then they mash it down and plant something else. So I'm kind of curious, is it something that'll keep growing and growing and growing and keep making little powder puffs, or what? But we'll try it over at my house here when some of this gets harvested somewhere. And we are now in the town of Marana again. Looks like regular corn over here, starting up. People eating corn. I think it uses it for animals too, I guess. Off on the right. See how some of the seeds every once in a while miss. Here's some right down the road. Whoop. It shoots up and grows. Over here it's cotton. Which is kind of neat. Cotton and corn. And maize, which is corn. They used to have, I forget what you call it. Broccoli? I think it was broccoli they used to grow out here. Sometimes onions. They don't grow much of that stuff no more. No mo. Can you say no mo? That looks like maize over there. Could be corn. Corn. Maize is short. Corn is long and tall. And if I'm not mistaken, off to my... I don't think it's here. It's on the other side. It's down the road a ways. But there's a cemetery, new cemetery for vets, a memorial place. I don't see it from here, but it's out in front of me and to the left. We can get to it if we wanted to, but I don't think I'm interested in going. Oh. John Kai Sr. Memorial Roadway. The Kai family is another big farming family out here, or used to be. They still are. But not, I don't know what that John is. Okay, now I'm going to show you something neat, I guess, since we're here. Since we left Evergreen, the closest restaurant is going to be right up here to my left. We'll turn left. Kirby Hughes Road. Kirby Hughes is another person that lived out here. Cattlemen's Cafe. 7 days a week now they're open. That's good to know. But this is, Tucson used to have an animal auction place. They called it the Stockyards. It was off of, I don't remember, off the freeway. But anyway, this is the new place. They moved it out here. And they seem relatively busy. Restaurant's right inside there. And the last time I ate here, the food was reasonably priced and it was really good. Looks like a steel manufacturing place is here now. That's cool. Somebody's house. Horsies. Dogs barking at the horsies. And the moo-moos. That place is really kind of neat. Lots of moo-moos there and horsies. Someday we'll go out to the Red Rock Road exit. There's a real neat place, I think. Some of these houses are huge out here too, guys. But anyway, there's a stockyard out there, a feedlot, owned by the Stevenson family. I don't even know if the old man and the old woman are still around, but they took a concealed carry course from me years ago, and they were older than rocks and dirt back then, so I don't know if they're still around. I'm going to turn here. We could go straight down this road to the end near the freeway and then take it back kind of to our left and back towards the rear. And that's where that memorial place is for the vets. I think I'll make a full stop. Bunch of workers doing something, probably working back there. Okay. And we're almost up to Marana Road, which turns into Marana Road. Bunch of residential places here and farm field across the street. But pretty nice. I like living out here in these rural areas. You can, I mean, you can't do everything like you once upon a time could. This is Kelly Green Trees. He grows all kinds of trees. I used to have heavy equipment and do tractor work there. Me and Bruce Carnes, Bruce sidebox trees that he was using on landscape projects, and I filled in holes with a little skid steer. Anyway, you can still do a lot more here than you can in a city, even in your own backyard. Just having the freedom to be able to do that and having the room and stuff is so nice. Okay. This is Marana Road. And we're going to take it back towards our house. See irrigation down there? Got a car turning left here. And there's more behind them, but I think they're going to come straight if I accelerate fast enough. I won't impede them. There you go, 45 miles an hour. I'm not going to impede them. He's probably going to want to go around me anyway. I drive like an old farmer. Some of these old farmers drive like race kids. They want to go fast, real fast. Okay, this is Miranda Road. And I don't know if you can see the headlights of the car up ahead, but just behind him, it has an S-turn, which we'll take. And after you get through that S-turn, it turns into Marana Road. We've talked about that once before. A bunch of moo cows. And we're coming up on my veterinarian's place, which starts right here, goes back to at least those trees way back there. You'll see his house and his barn and stuff right there. And his place goes right to here. That's it. Yeah, when we took that ride into the town of Marana too, we went right through this road. So, kind of gusty out here today. said it was going to be windy. I guess they weren't. Weathermen are like politicians. They just can't tell the truth. Lying sacks of poop. And here's that bridge I go, because of the dippity-doos on it. And we're on it. Santa Cruz River again. And let's see what we got here. Walker Hay Yard. Fresh cut. Getting ready to bale it. No, I couldn't put up with my driving anymore. That's okay. There's somebody out walking. Where he's walking from or going to, but wherever it is, it's a long walk. Okay. I don't know how much of this film we're going to include. Again, there's corn off to the right. Looking pretty nice. Off to the left, used to be a pond. It probably still is a pond, but they're not like they all used to be. There used to be ponds all over this place, just cattle tanks. And over there we used to gig frogs. That one had frogs, some had catfish, some have water dogs. They all got different things in all of them. It's kind of weird. But it was fun. And when our kids were small, it was a neat place to take them fishing and gigging. And we'd have us a big old fry. Alrighty then. So, onward and upward. Trico, I don't know what you call that actually. It's not a power station, but I guess it's some place that just all the wires come together. Okay. We're down this road the other day, coming back from the river. It's 12:02 in the afternoon. If it were 12:02 at the nighttime, it'd be dark. Okay. Here's our street. Going to the house street. The casa. The grande blanco casa de caca. Here's our giant. VFW with your Cobra Chili Chopper. Poor guy's awful thin. God bless him. Okay. So that used to be a laundromat. We ain't got one of them out here no more. Okay. Over here, some lady opened up a antiques and collectibles store, and I don't think she's in business anymore either. And coming up here is my buddy who's got his El Tiro automotive repair shop. Right here. And it's a nice little place. Working for himself. What a way to go. And here's our water company right here. Pay your bills. Have all that fun stuff. And that's about it. Now if you go way the hell and gone down to the end of this road, I'll take you there some other time. It turns into dirt anyway, about a mile or so down. But there's a glider port out there, which is kind of neat. Where people fly their little gliders. Me and my oldest son Justin were up in one once. What sucked, see, he was just a little kid. I forget how old, probably maybe 7, maybe. And back then it cost like $20 to go for a ride, which was okay. But he got to go up when I had to make sure he was seat belted in right and everything. So he went up in the first plane. It was a young guy in an acrobatic glider and all this stuff. Yeah, I believe if I'm not mistaken, Justin got sick on that flight. And that's exactly the kind of flight I would have loved. And me, wanting that rigorous kind of flying, I got some guy that seemed to be like 90 years old that worked for American Airlines forever. And he just wasn't really a go-getter in the plane. Anyway, I'm going to shut this thing down, check the mail. Adios, folks.